Okay, starting in maybe an unlikely place. Standing off the corner of the garage. Point out a couple things. The use of hardy wrap. All the outside of the house was cleaned also. The plywood, I mean, before sealing it up. All of it was sprayed. Some of our artwork for the soffits, and this is a gable. This is a cement product up here. It's a hardy board. That's already been painted. We are going to change one little color up there along that board that lies underneath the soffit. We're going to darken that up so that the gable will really stand out. And you can see around the windows how everything, I did all the peel and stick. Took a couple days. Keeps out air and keeps out, like there's going to be air coming in, keeps out water, like there's no water coming in with these windows, hopefully anyway. And you start this, you start by doing the bottom first, do the side second, do the top last, so that it helps with the runoff. You can see all the brick ties. I wanted to point out, but you may see it, you can see down there and on each corner of, and over here and over there and on other major corners of the house, there's a strap that goes about 3.5 feet down into the concrete, comes up along the corner of the house about 3.5 feet. Where it's exposed on the house must have, I don't know, at least 30 nails running into it that tie down the corners of the house. They're huge. They're 6 or 7 feet long. And then again, all these studs are tied into the concrete. That took 3 days. Originally we were going to do a monolithic slab, and then decided that what we really needed to do was to raise it up. So we did. 49 yards of concrete for the footers. It was supposed to take 29, but that's a separate story. All with number 5 rebar, and all the blocks are filled with concrete and rebar. But this is overlooking the garage, how it's framed out. They're larger garage doors. Typical garage doors are at least a foot shorter and a couple feet narrower. So we enlarged these. The driveway's all been planned out so you can turn around and so on. Blah, blah, blah. That's all been figured in. This is the golf cart door, motorcycle door in our case. Okay. Coming around to the front porch area. These beams are, I want to say they're 6x6s beams. You would not believe the strapping on them. That's only a minor portion of the strapping there that you're able to see. Most of the other straps are kind of hidden from view right now. And they come down, and those plates on the bottom are actually anchored into the concrete with galvanized steel. You can see some more of the ties there to the concrete blocks. You can see some of the roof. This was a big project, 62 squares, 6,200 square feet of roofing. It was supposed to be a small house, just some place to put our stuff, and then it grew. And anyway, this has got a material on it that reflects the heat, so it's really neat. And helps with your air conditioning and cooling and so on. This is another gable over the front porch. Again, that little piece that runs up there, we're going to change the color. Vented soffit areas. And then these beams over the front porch, they'll be all cased out. And then we get into the brick. We've got pine straw down so that the rain coming off the roof supposedly won't splatter onto the brick and mess it up. Brick guy Rocky, we've known him for 20 years now. Absolute perfectionist. It's simple around the windows right now because we may put shutters on there, some form of shutter. You're going to have to have some kind of window covering eventually to get your certificate of occupancy. You've got to have some kind of way of covering the windows up in the event of a hurricane. But you can see hopefully you can see the colors of the brick and stuff. I mean, I love it. The mortar, found out from Rocky, because we buy all our own materials and so on, but the mortar is twice the price of a normal bag of mortar. I guess because of the color. It's difficult to work with for him. It sets up a little more rapidly, and so what he's been doing, believe it or not, is normal household sugar. He's been adding a few capfuls of sugar to every mix of mortar, and it makes it a little bit easier to work with. Gas lines coming out here, instant hot water heaters going there. That's the water where it comes in and feeds the house. Okay, the gas company's been here. They're getting ready to run their gas lines. Walking out onto the back patio. You can see the concrete that went into this baby. And this is the patio that comes off the master and off the family room. That's the nook, the kitchen nook. But that's the great room, and that's master. And now you have to back all of your ceilings with plywood for the wind loads and so on. So it is, so it's not vented. That may become a problem later, we don't know. And this is what Rocky's doing. He's got today off. Got to visit his mother in the hospital, and so he won't be working today. This is our brick ledge return. We had an option of doubling the wall or doing this, and we decided just to go with this because this is all going to eventually be screened in. You can see some of the massive posts and beams that are in here, so it's not going anywhere. Just a view out to the water. We've already got our sod in for the back part of the yard. It was pretty ratty out here, so I decided to just, why wait? Just get it all graded out, get your sod growing. Why wait till the end of the year until the house is completed? This area is left open. We haven't decided what to do with the pool or what we're going to do back here yet, but at the very least, we're going to be bringing the dirt up at least 2 feet, maybe 2.5 to 3 feet. So this wall will actually eventually be buried, this particular wall here, unless somebody says, you know, to put a pool in that, you know, you want to step down, and I don't know yet, but at any rate, so if it looks like it's a high step off the porch, it is, but eventually the idea was to come in here with 2.5 to 3 feet of dirt, come back and then taper off into the rest of the backyard. How that's going to work out now or yet, I don't know. Again, you can see the peel and stick around all the windows. That casing and molding around the doors is all coming off. Scott will rip that off and he will do his own. This will all be trimmed out in hardy board back here. Actually, it's a Nichiwa, I forget, kind of product, and I want to say Meritech, and I might have that name wrong. Kind of cement siding. Give it a craftsman look, and it'll all be trimmed out with 1x8s up there and down here, and 1x3 strips, vertical battens, and around the windows will be 1x4s, 1x6s over the doors themselves. That's being delivered Friday. And so Rocky worked on this yesterday. We have natural gas over there for the barbecue, little light there to put over the barbecue, and this is water outlet. This is the nook area. Scott wanted to make this even a bigger window. That's 6 foot, believe it or not. It does look kind of small in the brick now, doesn't it? But, you know, got to make some cuts or something somewhere, so we did. Then this is the second master and its porch, and I'll just run over here because we're running out of time on this one. This is how high the concrete came up, concrete blocks, and already got the well in. That's going to have to be moved because this all has to be graded and brought up about 2 feet also. And all our electrical, television, gas, everything kind of outlets over here that's pre-wired. And this is the golf door sitting over here, or in our case, motorcycle door. Last comment, those are the exhaust and intake for that ERV. And so with that, I'll close this one off. See ya.